iBOSSinc Capital Academy, lighting your way to capital solutions.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Capital Academy. Capital Academy is all about bringing information to the early stage startup company community that helps them to understand some of the things they may be going through currently or things that may be coming that they have to deal with. But it's to create that community where you understand you are not alone. There are other founders that have gone that way before and again that are looking to go down that path. And today we're going to talk to a company that has been around for almost 10 years now, and they've gone through various changes and adjustments as they started and continue to grow the business, and that's the information we're going to find out from them. So today I have with me EHN's founder and co-founder. We have Charles
Williams.
Pleased to have you here.
Yes.
Pleased to have you. And we have Adelaide. Pronounce your last name for me.
Abdulkarim.
We have and I'm going to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves, but they're going to again talk about the story and mission of how they grew out, and I say EHN, but I'll say it all out, Electronic Health Network.
That is correct.
So Charles, please, if you'll start, tell us who you are and what you're doing.
Okay, my name is Charles Williams. I am the co-founder of Electronic Health Network. We originally started in 2007, and we had originally developed a product called the Health Stick, and we found out that the industry was lacking the ability to connect and share data, and we started going on the path of electronic health records through health information exchanges. And 5 years later, we did a restart. And we'll go into that a little later on. And Adelaide and myself, what we did was we focused our energy and our efforts on building a data exchange platform that allows doctors to share medical records and do it in a way where it's seamless and it's easy and it's based on standards.
Gotcha. Adelaide, please introduce yourself also and give us your start.
Absolutely. Adelaide Abdulkarim. I actually started out in the world of chemistry.
Okay.
And I actually focused on radiochemistry. So all throughout my early careers, it's really focused on, all right, how do you identify very, very small bits of information from like these large, dangerous volumes? So it's always been attention to detail type work. Okay. And after finding out I don't really want to remain in a room with two other guys and wearing this suit and working behind a glove box, that I really liked people. I liked working with people, communicating with people, and I wanted something that was going to be able to really improve the lives. So the reason why I did chemistry is because it improved lives. It was like an environmental lab. I'm out there to clean the earth. I wanted to do good for the world. And then I just now wanted to do good for people as well.
Gotcha.
All right, so my mom, which doesn't speak a lot of English, diabetes, lots of different medications that she's on, the physician asked her, like, what medication are you on? And to me, it just seemed like a liability in so many different areas. The physician could get sued. My mom could get sick, potentially die. So I went down the road of looking for a technology or a way to communicate for people when people were unable to communicate for themselves. So I was always really in love with the consumer aspect of the business, of enabling an application or applications for people to get use of, to improve their lives. And from there, it's in essence morphed in what we have today, which is the Mint platform, which is an interoperability platform that provides, in essence, complete data liquidity, access to any clinical system, access to any medical record system, and a mechanism of interfacing any application today or 5 years down the road.
Gotcha. So in what I've just heard both of you say, what was the impetus for you to actually start the business? So that sounds like things that you found out while you were in the business. What made you start the business?
The size of the market. In essence, we started looking at this back in before high tech, before Obamacare, before all of this was in place. At the time, 80-20. 80% of physicians were using paper records, 20% were using electronic records. Of the 20% using electronic records, they weren't certified. So if you're looking at an industry to where you need to have complete data liquidity, but yet all data is still stuck in the office, you're talking about a wild, wild west. So that's like going back to like 1979 with ATM machines and somebody coming to you and saying, hey, look, I've got the secrets for it. Do you want to play in this world?
Right.
So for me, it was like the growth potential was huge.
So you really saw an opportunity from the beginning.
Absolutely.
How about yourself? Did you go into wanting to start by way of opportunity or another reason?
Yeah, I went in because I saw a huge problem. And I had stated this before. You know, the fact that I had to fill out paperwork over and over again,
Right.
you know, to the same people or individual or a different organization, it was ridiculous. I just come out of a industry that was doing paper to electronic. So it's like, that's what I mentioned, standards.
Right.
Why can't they have some level of standards so that we can get access to our information?
And it's interesting that as partners, you kind of went at this from the problem that was within, and you went at it from the opportunity that problem presented.
Absolutely.
And truly the market was there. Okay, that's how you guys started. What made you want to continue to build the business? So you started, but what kept you in it? And I'm saying that because you're still in it today.
I love doing unprecedented work, and I love creating new applications, creating new models, and this industry allows for that. One of the reasons why I really loved working in nuclear chem is like, we'd work with like Savannah River site, and they're like, all right, give me a produce a procedure for analyzing for thorium in this particular element, right? So we have to go out there and figure out how to do this. In this industry, in essence, this is what you're doing every single day.
Right.
From finding ways to allow specific access to folks that have mental health and behavioral health issues. A huge problem was, how do I grant access to data and provide this level of transaction? We got to work on that. We got to solve that problem, you know? Right. Another is like, how am I able to send information across state lines and have systems access it? We were able to solve that problem. So I don't see another industry to where you just really, really get to wake up every single morning and solve multiple problems daily. And each problem that you solve turns into a product or a solution that you can now offer to others.
Right, gotcha. For you, what's a reason for you that it's one thing starting it, but staying in it, continuing to build it?
Well, for me, how I saw it was that, you know, many people are good at starting a business, but sustaining a business is a whole nother matter.
It's tough.
And it's not easy. And one of the things that I saw was the fact that the tremendous opportunity, the tremendous upside, and that we have to find a way to make this happen, because if we don't, who else will?
Right.
And so I was motivated by several factors. I was motivated by the opportunity. I was motivated by being an entrepreneur. I was motivated by being an African American, and going beyond just a typical mom and pop shop, and taking this to a much higher level.
Right.
And so I'm motivated by several factors.
Gotcha. And so that pulls me into exactly what you're saying right now. What are some of the elements that creates the passion behind you know, what it is that the business does? And I don't know if you have something to add to that, but the passion behind it, is it the same, or is there more to it for you?
It's more to it to me. One of the things that I've always saw was the fact that our technology, one day is going to save somebody's life. And we don't know them, we'll never meet them.
Right.
And, but it played a part in that role by having access in an emergency when you need it, when a life is at
That's
it.
pretty heavy. That's pretty heavy. How about for you, Adley?
For me, it's really holistic. So our vision is to optimize human life, and that's what EHN is, optimizing human life. And that's in every aspect of life.
Right.
That's from the people that work for us, work with us, the people that we deliver technology to, the hospitals that we save time and inefficiency. And I love business for that reason. I like working with young developers, giving them the opportunity to really shine. I like working with physicians and providers that need really, redesign and care delivery that's going to provide an innovative model that allows them to either make more money or save money or find a better way to try to care for an individual or a patient. I want to be able to, any aspect of any life that our organization touches, to improve it.
Wow, that's a great thought. That's really a great thought. So, if you can share some of the pivot points that you've encountered along the way of building and growing the business.
I would say the major pivot point, which was really driven by the industry and a classification, the classification of this health information exchange. Early on, I'd say 6-7 years ago, they were all the rage. And the services they provide is incredibly important. That's how you transact data, right? That's how you're able to pay at the pump. That's how you're able to buy things off of eBay. That's how you're able to day trade with E-Trade, right? However, the term itself, health information exchange, became really synonymous with failure and a business model that just does not work. So we needed to change that. And in essence, we understand that the services that it provides, it's a necessary requirement to operate today. However, the name is wrong. So we really changed our model to more of an interoperability platform. It's a data accessibility platform. It's application program interface management. It's an API library. So what we actually provide is that same level of service, but it goes well beyond what an information exchange is supposed to do. We actually want to take this into the physician's offices, into application developers, into doctors that need to develop virtual offices. Because if you're looking at a doctor's office today, it's a brick and mortar. That's going to have to change. They're going to have to start a virtual office where they're doing online televisits. They need to be able to prescribe applications. They need to be able to take their vitals, have that data shot over their system, and they also need to run a brick and mortar office. So with all of this, we in essence have developed the infrastructure and the platforms to allow for these communications to take place.
Right. Do you have a pivot point?
From a business perspective, I do. I remember, I'm going to go back to what Adelie was saying. Very early on when we had started the company and we were looking for our direction, one was when, and I'm going to say this on purpose, candidate Obama was running and he spoke about the 21st century healthcare. We knew where the direction of healthcare was going. And we put forth our energy and effort towards that. And out of that came the health information exchanges that Adelie had explained their purpose. And the purpose was there, they just didn't have the right business model and the right people in place to make it work. And what the next pivot point for us was we had an opportunity right here in Prince George County where they gave us an opportunity to showcase our ability with Prince George County Health Department and others. And we were able to share and showcase what we're able to do. And that was, I saw that as a pivot point in the company history because it gave us a chance when no one else had given us.
Right. So that gave you an opportunity to really prove that out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Talk to me then, what's the 5-year vision for the company? 5 years from now, what are you looking like?
Well, 5 years from now, I see an organization that's allowing doctors to share medical records, history, information that not necessarily medical, but medical related, applications on this platform. I see us pretty much like, you could say, Android platform or Amazon platform where developers can create and develop applications for the industry that's better use of that industry. I see consumers with access to their medical records from multiple sources without having to make 4 or 5 different calls to a hospital, a specialist, their local clinic, or anybody else. So
Gotcha.
those things like that, access and ability.
I'm going to set you up for the next question, but I'm not going to ask it yet.
All right.
Can this platform be used for things other than healthcare?
Absolutely.
Okay, you're set up. What do you see as the 5-year vision?
In 5 years, I really want to see us, in essence, as the Netflix of healthcare. If you look at Netflix, it's content creation and also content distribution.
Gotcha.
And with 166,000 healthcare applications on the market today, a lot of them are still siloed. They're not developed with data in mind from the electronic medical record system and the payer system.
Right.
And the data that they produce isn't necessarily shared back with the provider and the payers. So 5 years from now, where I would like for us to be is a hospital. They log into our infrastructure. They search all the applications. They pick a diabetes application. They download it. It's already integrated onto the platform. And as far as distribution, we've started a channel partner program to where we have a series of system integrators or SIs that are allowed to sell and implement our products. So with that, they have the ability now to also resell and implement all the applications that the developers are now onboarding onto the network. So 5 years from now, I think we can really be a very, very solid player in that market.
That's significant. So you guys would be that infrastructure in the background
Absolutely.
and not so much having to be the one out front selling, because then you have all the other partners that's doing that.
That's correct.
I can see that. So I set him up for the question, but I'm going to ask you the question first. So if I take the short answer that Charles just gave me, that yes, this can be used for other platforms, industry-wise, and that means there are more industries that we can think of, but where do you see the company's exit strategy if we're thinking about the fact that there are other platforms? So what is the exit for the company, considering all that could happen between that 5 years and when your actual exit is?
I think the exit would be acquisition. It's going to be by a major player that wants to solve the problem that we're solving today.
And again, is that only in healthcare, or is it bigger than?
It will be an organization that wants to have immediate access into the healthcare industry, that doesn't want to figure out themselves.
Interesting. Gotcha.
He just answered the question. So,
I kind of that. Okay.
but what I see as well is, like you said, someone that want to play but don't want to build. And they may be in another industry. They will probably, hey, we want to see this. We want to see how this works. And how can we apply this to energy? I'm just going to pick on energy.
Else,
or how can we apply this to financial and expand our product offering, and or any other type of need that is out there? Because the concept and the principles are still the same. It doesn't matter.
That's what I was going to say. I love the fact that you prove it out in an industry that you both appear to have some significant passion in. But then once you reach that point, it's kind of really up to the player that comes to the table, but you will have created so much value that it becomes significant. Thank you so much, Adley, for joining us on this segment. Thank you so much, Charles. And thank you for joining us for this segment of Capital Academy. We hope that if anything's been shared in this segment that resonates with you, that you'll be willing to share the information with someone else. And if you like what it is that we're putting on, we just want to make sure that entrepreneurs are seeing and hearing from others that help them to move forward in whatever it is that their mission is. Join us on Capital Academy every month as we're putting on these segments. And if you are interested in seeing other shows, please take a look at our channel, iBOSSincTV.net, where you can see all of the segments of Capital Academy. Until the next time, we look forward to seeing you then. Take care.
iBOSSinc Capital Academy, lighting your way to capital solutions.